Go ahead. Turn it up. It's the Record Machine Show with your host, Jimmy Howe.
Nothing gonna kill my vibe, 'cause it feels so good to feel alright. Trade in everything you want. If it ain't ever brought you nothing but a bad time, trade in your thinking, change your mind. Change up the way you dress, running round town looking like a little hot mess. Change up the blues, change up the blues for a red hot time. Feels good tonight, feels right tonight. Nothing gonna kill my vibe, 'cause it feels so good to feel alright. Feels good tonight, feels right tonight. Nothing gonna kill my vibe, 'cause it feels so good to feel alright. Throw out your self-made doubt and everything related that's giving you downtown. Throw out the memories, change the rhyme. Heads up high, you got to impress. No holdbacks, gonna give 'em all thy best. Heads up to you, heads up to you. This is the time. Feels good tonight, feels right tonight. Nothing gonna kill my vibe, 'cause it feels so good to feel alright. Feels good tonight, feels right tonight. Nothing gonna kill my vibe, 'cause it feels so good to feel Feels good tonight, feels right tonight. Nothing gonna kill my vibe, 'cause it feels so good to feel alright. Feels good tonight, feels right tonight. Nothing gonna kill my vibe, 'cause it feels so good to feel alright. Feels good tonight, feels right tonight. Nothing gonna kill my vibe, 'cause it feels so good to feel alright. Feeling alright, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the band Gunshine, guitarist Austin Hingerman to the program. Austin, how you doing?
Hey, James, what's going on, man?
Not much. Where are you calling from today?
I'm in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, wow, nice. What's the weather? Is it nice there today?
It's actually kind of chilly right now, but I think it's supposed to warm back up pretty soon. But yeah, this cold kind of came out of nowhere all of a sudden here, so it's kind of weird.
What's chilly for you in Florida? 50?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's gotten down to like 40s, high 30s, I think, at night lately. But yeah, it's starting to warm back up. But yeah, for me as a Floridian, like anything below like 55 is cold.
Yeah. Is that where you grew up your whole life in Florida?
Yeah, well, I'm from Gainesville, Florida, and then I lived in Mobile, Alabama for a little bit. Then I lived in Hollywood, California, I graduated from MI out there, Musicians Institute, and toured with a band called New Year's Day for years.
Oh, okay.
While I was out there. Yeah.
Wow, very cool. So tell me about your musical background. When did you first get involved in music?
I started playing guitar when I was like 7 or 8, something like that. But I kind of went through different phases in school where I was playing sports and different things like that. So it was kind of, I didn't take it as seriously maybe until I was around like 17. And that's when I started playing out like in bars and stuff like that, and actually getting paid to play and everything. So then at around 22, that's when I moved to Hollywood to go to MI. And then, that was like a 1.5-year program. After that, that's when I got the touring gig with New Year's Day, and we toured with Hailstorm, Godsmack, Falling in Reverse, like, did lots of like arena kind of stuff, all the large festivals.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually doing a European tour whenever right before the COVID thing happened, and that's kind of what gave me the time frame to kind of start Gunshine.
Nice. Now, I believe every band or artist is influenced by someone. Who are some of your influences?
Definitely like Stevie Ray Vaughan is kind of one of the first guys I started learning stuff from, and of course Hendrix, and Randy Rhoads was another big one.
Mm-hmm.
Slash is definitely in there as well. Paul Gilbert, Tom Schultz from Boston. Boston is a huge influence on me.
Wow,
for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm very into. I mean, I grew up even listening to like when I was growing up. I'm 28, so when I was growing up, like all the boy bands were like a really big thing. Like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and all that stuff. So
right.
I was just. As a kid, I was just hearing all that stuff, and I was always really influenced to anything that was like catchy, melodic.
Mm-hmm.
I love big choruses and pop hooks and everything. So that's kind of the way that I kind of like to write stuff is have it, always be catchy. I'm really into like writing vocal melodies and stuff, that's one reason why Gunshine has worked so well from a songwriting standpoint, because Jordan and I, we have a great chemistry because he's really into lyrics and I'm really into melody. You know what I mean? So
nice.
We balance it out really well. So
awesome. Now let's talk about the band. Who are the players?
Yeah. So James Renshaw is the drummer, and him and I have known each other for about probably like I think it's like 8 years now. And so we've played in bands with each other before, and I did some like guitar instrumental stuff, and he played drums on my stuff before. So him and I had known each other for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I had always kind of had this vision to get this band off the ground, but we just couldn't find all the right pieces to make it happen. Like we couldn't find a singer. So him and I would try out different singers, and this was all during the time like I was touring and doing things with different bands, and basically just doing really cool things, to gain experience and everything. But it's still in my heart wasn't exactly what I wanted to do yet. I definitely wanted to get the ideas in my head out and really do my own thing. So anyways, James, him and I were jamming together throughout the whole process, doing different stuff. And he actually did a tour as well with New Year's Day with me as well. So, but yeah, we always have stayed close, and he's from Alabama. Actually, he's played drums like his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing since he was like 3 or something. So.
Wow.
And he's just phenomenal drummer. So we've for me, it was just like, okay, this is the drummer that I want, so we always just, we've been friends for a while. We just, hit it off real well. And we started working on demos and stuff even before we could find a singer. And, actually, I tried all kinds of people out in LA, and, we even drove to like different, we drove all the way from Florida to North Carolina to try someone else. And
wow.
I mean, we tried people from all over the place, and it would just never, Gunshine is something that I wanted to get off the ground since like even before like bands like Greta were coming out and stuff like that. But it was just a matter of like, taking years to really find all the right pieces and not compromising. the vision and everything. So long story long, that's when eventually after the COVID thing, as I mentioned earlier, I came off a European tour with New Year's Day. The whole world shut down. And so I went back to Pensacola, Florida, and then which is where I'm from. And then we came across Jordan, the singer. So Jordan Benson, he was doing a dueling piano gig. You know, you've been to like a dueling piano bar, right? Where they do, it's like a cover kind of thing, but there's like two piano players, and they're yeah. So it's a pretty cool thing, but good way to make extra money and all that too. But
Right.
So he had a dueling piano gig, and that's how I met him. Somebody said, "Hey, you should try. You know, this guy might actually work. You know, for your project. You should get him over." And I didn't really think a whole lot about it because I kind of assumed like, you know, oh, if he's playing in a cover band or doing a cover gig, like maybe he just kind of wants to do that. You know, he's already got a stable gig. He might not be super into writing, or he might not want to travel and this or that. I kind of just, honestly, I was a little scarred from trying 1,000 other singers that didn't work out. And I was kind of just like, all right, screw it. I'll just give it a go anyway. And sure enough, he comes over, and we wrote Wall Said to Call together in like a day, and just had a really good chemistry. And I kind of thought, so my original plan was to kind of do like the first Slash solo record where he got like all the different singers. Yeah. So that was kind of like my plan, I guess, because I was like, I can't really find a solid singer to be in a band with. So I'll just write a bunch of songs and have different people sing. And so I kind of thought that was the best case scenario, but he came over, you know, we hit it off really well, and he was like, all right, when we're going on tour.
Nice.
So, yeah. So it definitely was best case scenario, but, yeah, Jordan had spent a bunch of time in Nashville prior to that, worked with a bunch of different songwriters and producers and stuff. And then he had moved to Pensacola after that to get the dueling piano gig or whatever. But yeah, he's obviously really talented as well. Comes from a super, super musical family. His dad has like a 5.5 octave vocal range. And then Jordan had been best friends with Pat, the bass player. So so Pat came in like right after we recorded the first album. And that's kind of how it all came together.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's amazing how things just happen that way. It worked out pretty well, right?
Yeah. It's definitely a little bit of a long time coming, but that's just how it works sometimes. You gotta not compromise the vision and make sure it's right. So
yeah, I was like, I always like search Instagram and Facebook for new talent to feature on the show, and I saw your band, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, wow, this is kick ass, and your guitar playing is like phenomenal. And then to hear Jordan sing, I kind of got like a Jesse James, Mark Slaughter vibe from him, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we've definitely gotten that before. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me on too, by the way.
You're welcome. I appreciate you coming on. I think this is a great album. I really do. It's solid, like from track 1 all the way to the last track. It's that good, in my opinion. I mean, like I said, when I heard it, I was like, holy shit, this guy sounds like a crossover between Jesse James and then Mark Slaughter, because I grew up with Slaughter, and Jackal as well. But yeah, he just has that range, man. His voice is so powerful.
Absolutely, yeah. And he did a lot of stuff, like I mentioned earlier, in Nashville too, and he's definitely got a lot of country influences and stuff like that too. And you'll hear some with the new music. There's a lot more. He'll sing in lower registers, and then there's kind of you can really hear like his range for sure. And he's definitely super, super talented. And that's why, like, as soon as I heard him sing over the first demo, I was like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. It was definitely just the right fit for sure.
That's awesome. Now, your debut album, Gunshine, which is available now on your website, gunshineband.com. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. That the record's out on all streaming platforms. We put it out June of last year, and we kind of did a few singles at first, then we put out the record, and honestly, like, as soon as we put it out, we definitely got some really good response for it. We had like a local radio PD that wanted to play. He saw us like play a couple songs live, and then he instantly like wanted to play the single on the radio and everything, which was pretty wild. And we've had, I don't know if you're familiar with Mitch Malloy from Great White. He sang Great White.
Yep.
Yeah, so he actually lives kind of around the same place we live. He lives in Destin, which is kind of right near Pensacola. We're all kind of in that area, but he was out at one of our shows too, and was just like super stoked about the band, and was saying like, "Oh, I haven't heard a band like this in years, and really love the album." And so it's really gone well so far in terms of the response, and it's really only just the beginning. I mean, some people see us or hear the album and be like, you know, "Oh, Gunshine, well, I haven't really heard of them." It's like, well, that's just because this project is brand new, you know, so we're just putting this out and trying to, I think it does surprise people a little bit, and they're like, well, wait, like what is this, you know? So, but we just from the debut record, we signed on with this attorney Nick Ferrara, who works with Greta Van Fleet, and we got management, national booking agent. So it was definitely very like just things started just kind of falling together like immediately, you know, which is we're really humbled and thankful for. But we just recorded a new EP out in Las Vegas, and we're excited to put that out this year. So
Awesome. Now, this podcast is going to feature two of your tracks, Feel Alright and Meet You There. What's the story behind those two songs? Yeah,
so Feel Alright was a song where one morning I kind of just woke up and had the chorus in my head. I kind of had that, just the melody, and I was kind of I had the line "Feels so good to feel all right," and I kind of just was scatting the rest of the melody out to Jordan, and then he wrote the lyric on top of it, and it just was one of those songs that was just like came together right away. It was like written in a day. And how it came along was we were realizing the album had a lot of very riffy kind of songs, very riff driven, and we wanted one that was just a little bit more straight ahead, just kind of, you know, party rock and roll, just kind of not so much going on, you know what I mean? Just kind of like more simple, very chanty. And a lot of the songs on the first album, we really wanted that that kind of vibe. Like we wanted the lyrics to be very lighthearted, fun, nothing too dark or serious or whatever. You know, I think honestly there's too much of that right now. We wanted to kind of bring back the fun, bring back the excitement. And yeah, there's, you know, Feel Alright just kind of speaks for itself in terms of that, just kind of fun rock and roll banger. Then Meet You There is kind of, you know, I picked those two to kind of send because it's a good example of kind of who we are as a band. We're not really boxed into one thing or one sound, and people are going to see that with even this new EP. It's going to surprise some people with like thinking that we're going to sound a certain way, and then there's going to be some songs where it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know they did that. So that's just the way we write, though. It's like we don't there's never formulas or anything like that. It's always just like whatever comes out, and so Meet You There is a good example of that. There's a lot of different influences. There's like some Duran Duran vibes going on mixed with like System of a Down. And as I mentioned before, like melody is always super, super important. And it's a fun song. It's just very melodic, takes you on a journey. And so, yeah, Feel Alright and then Meet You There is kind of like, it's kind of the yin and the yang, I guess, you know.
How do you approach songwriting? What's your creative process like?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where like I save a lot of different ideas in my phone, like Dropbox. I put them in Dropbox or have my phone, my voice memos. So I'll just like hum something or have you know, a bunch of guitar riffs in my phone, and then we kind of just put stuff together from there. And there's never any. It's all artistic. There's never any like mathematical thing going on where it's like, oh, we need to write something that does this, or I don't know. We always just keep it very like from the heart. We try to always keep it creative and, like I said, artistic, and not. That's just the way that I like to do things, the way that we like to do things. And I think there's too many people that are worried about external factors like radio and all these different things that the minute you start thinking all that, it's going to affect your creativity, in my opinion. So.
Cool. Now, what are your plans for the rest of 2023?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, we just recorded a new EP, and we actually just signed on with a new team to help us put out this record, and we're gonna release the EP probably like mid first single we're looking at around March, and then the EP will probably come out around summer-ish, kind of that time frame. So we're going to release that and then hopefully tour soon after that. So it should be an exciting, busy year.
Cool. Now, anyone looking to purchase your CD or follow you on social media, they can go to your website, gunshineband.com, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And you'll see a tab that says merch at the top of the website, and that'll take you directly to our online merch store where we have CDs for sale and T-shirts, koozies, stickers, all that stuff. So
cool. Now, is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of the gist of it for us right now. And yeah, I can't necessarily think of anything off the top of my head.
Austin, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. And like I said, I really dig this album. And anyone who hasn't heard it should certainly go to your website, gunshineband.com, and purchase a copy of it. And I'm looking forward to hearing that EP when it comes out. Maybe you guys can come back on the show as a group, maybe during the summer. Would that be cool?
That would be amazing. Yeah. And like I said, thanks again for having me. And I really appreciate all your kind words, and definitely thanks for listening and checking out the album.
Absolutely, my friend. Let's stay in touch, all right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Sounds great.
All right, man. You have a great day, all right?
All right. You too.
All right,
Talk to you
bye-bye.
later.
Machine Show is a weekly radio podcast produced by Jimmy Howell Productions. All rights reserved. For information regarding distribution or adding this podcast to your website, please visit our contact page at therecordmachineshow.com to submit your request. Thanks for listening. See you next time on The Record Machine Show.
The Record Machine Show.